very much, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, mesdames et messieurs. Est-ce qu'il y a des Français aussi aujourd'hui? Oui, hello. Do you remember the motto of our conference? How can we do? Yeah. Try to sing now as the beginning, very short Hungarian folk song. La la, or text, with text, or la la la. That's fight it out. That's a Hungarian folk song, and that is a part of a suite, a very nice folk song suite written by József Karai, and we are going to listen some details perhaps. Leesett a mikrofon. Ja, és nem szól. La la, allez. Énekeljünk, énekeljünk, Gúzsajasba merre menjünk, édes, éde az utcára, László Józsi kapuj. Very good, thank you very much. Can you read the short translation about it? That's very easy story. Of course, love story, as in the folk songs you can find. So, one more time, and then we are going to listen 2 minutes to very short details. La. Énekeljünk, énekeljünk, Gúzsajasba merre menjünk, édes, ide az utcába, László. Second verse, la la la. La la la, Revet utca, bánatkővel van kirakva, azt is tudom, hogy kirakta. Elnyarok én sírva, rakosgatta, járjon, aki rakosgatta. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Without warming up, it's fantastic. But it would be very nice to sing more, much more. But that's not the moment. May I ask you to play the first short session, please? It's for mixed choir accompaniment, piano accompaniment. Yeah? May I ask you? Legyen kedves? Igen, lejátszani az első részt. Bocsánat. So, this song might be a motto of us. We have to sing, 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 sing. What about today's session, today's text of me? How can singing belong to everyone? That's the question. My variation of the title is Professional Conductors for All Amateur Choirs, or Get All Amateur Choirs Professional Conductor. The question is, why is it so important? You can see a short three pictures, three persons who were very, very, very important for me in my life. In my secondary school, in the middle, Madame Katanic, and the same time, there's the right side, this man, it's a Franciscan priester, in a church choir, fantastic. And at the academy is Monsieur István Párkai, who is sitting here. Thank you for your coming. So that means 3 very, very important examples, and everybody needs a good example. So, the subjects, why is it so important? And speaking, singing, good music, you can read it and I will go on, okay? Of course, this question, why is it so important, is relevant throughout the world. Choral conductors trained on what level should stand before choirs. How can they enrich the universal culture? There are deep researches about the fact that the vast majority of people is connected with choral music, or at least by any kind of singing this way or that way. Perhaps only sports are so widespread and popular activities in people's lives. During the last 2 days, you could listen to many wonderful presentations and lectures and lecturers, also with mentioning of Kodai's ideas. You could follow the result of the scientists' researches about the role of the art and the active music making. These are the fundamentals of the everyday practice. It's not sure that everyone agrees with me, but let's see how I can support the truth of my opinion. If we consider the relationship between speaking and singing, we find that the first sound of a baby might be to understand as sing-song, humming, or as non-articulated speaking. Only the mother can judge these first signs of the psychical and sentimental state of the child. Whether these sounds can express satisfaction or any pain of the little ones. For months and years, the natural recite and sing-song can be hardly separated. Then more and more, one can understand the real meaning of the speaking, and the child creates his own world of melodies. He sings in free recites and many songs. One can listen to the sound of his sentiments, his joy and laments, and people can feel the need of a singing community. Friends or singing groups, finally a choir. That was a very short way to reach our choir as a main theme. Singing in a good musical community needs a good conductor. Can you see this picture in the right and up? Yeah, the text is, I have to go a bit. Come on, through the stick. That's one type of the conductors. It is not sure that everyone agrees that is very important, the first signs of the babies. At least we can declare that singing in a good musical community is a fantastic experience. Let it be in a small village, in a school, or a church choir, as well as in a bigger choir in a huge city. And it is also a basic fact that people singing need a good spiritual and musical leader, a person who can provide goals and help, and who can give a structure of the common work. He, she is the choral conductor. If anybody can find his community, he can get everyday spiritual nourishment, help in his affairs, good friends, joy and valuable experience in his life. In this year, in the fifth year of my work as a music teacher and choral conductor, I asked my students at the Liszt Academy what they think on a good conductor. What kind of a person is he? What kind of a role have they chosen as becoming a choral conductor? What does conductor know and do? Why is the conductor a key person in the life of the community and in the choral movement? I myself have known the answer for a long time. I find that this is the only possibility for me to intervene
into today's general process of the depressing spiritual and emotional life. I'm sure that the teacher's training, conductor's training, and the most of all, any artistic education provides hope of solution. It's well known in every society, but is not respected, not used for the advantages, although the old Greek have said it already. Turning back to my students, first they were surprised. Why does it need to be explained when it is clear and natural that only the versatile and trained and having vocation conductors would be successful? My first answer to my young colleagues was that it is essentially important that they know themselves what they want in their profession and why. Later, they will have to explain 100 times with convincing arguments to school managers and official ministerial people the importance of musical education, the role of active artistic experience, and choir singing. Yes, my students are very young. For them, everything seems to be black and white, so they take it for granted that if something is valuable, they have to take care of it. The doctorandus have more experience since they are practicing conductors. Their thoughts are more considered. They have given new points of view as well as fresh, useful ideas. Now I can arrange these points, and I'm very grateful for their answers. Task of the choral conductor. That's only a picture of three different choirs. And anywhere, perhaps Gabon. There. Is it? I don't know. In the tenor must be, but I don't know. Yeah, are you here? But is it in the academy building? Can you hear? And you could listen to the concert on the first evening, Madame Valéria Sebeledi, and so the Nyíregyháza and other group, I don't know. So, task of the choral conductor. Let's see the most important questions, task of the conductors. What musical and human demands are on the table of a choir leader? Confident score reading as the first. Being well trained in harmonization. Developed insight hearing. To be familiar with music theory like analysis and synthesis in musical structures. Sense of styles. Knowledge of musical mother language, of native folk songs. Large repertoire of choral music. And the general music literature too, of course. You can see the picture with the book, very famous book of Madame Szőnyi, who was celebrated 2 days ago. Musical reading and writing, a very famous book about it with exercise books, and it's all over the world well known. Of course, Kollár as the good teacher and good composer of her and of us too, of course. Folk music and inspiration, that is basic as the mother language, mother tongue in Hungary. So, counting the pillars of the profession, the basic condition is to get the necessary musical knowledge, like confidence, score reading, as you could see. In one, knowledge of solfege, which is very important. My young colleagues say that it is important to know and to use the musical mother language because it's inspired the composers also, and also the singers, and also the audience who knows very well the style and the rhythm and the typical instruments. That's a very rich sound. Having capacities, skills and aptitude and much more, which is important, that the patience. So, well-trained singing voice, and you can see everything. Instrumental playing, which is very important, which is forgotten many times, which is you cannot avoid it. Expressive conducting techniques, sense of building the choir sound, skillful rehearsal method, very, very important. Clever program of the concerts, good plans for the choir year by year, moving culture, deep understanding the connection of the text and music, making the singers part of the artistic work. They have to participate, and that's a community also in the work, not only the life, in the life. Getting aptitude of giving, joy of singing, constant intent to train his accomplishments, his general erudition, pedagogical sense and humanity, one can say much love. Aptitude of giving, joy of singing. Young musicians lay stress skillful rehearsal techniques. Naturally, it is connection with many other compatibilities of the conductor. He has to be aware of the score reading competence of the singers, their voice qualities. He has to count on their momentary concentration level. The conductor has to become an excellent teacher with high knowledge of methodology. They shouldn't work in the same way with amateur or professional singers, of course. They have to develop the singers' all musical skills. Meanwhile, they have to give joy of common work. And also, simply, to be together. The singer should feel at every rehearsal that there is a good result of the common work, because the future concert will be beautiful, hopefully, valuable, and will delight also the audience. Under the good conductor's leading, the singers can feel himself sure during the rehearsals as well as the concert. The conductor is the spiritual source who can inspire the singers for higher and higher level concerts. The students emphasized that the conductor must be on a much higher level than the choir members. And they also added that this is also valid for his general erudition and educational level too. Natural, by my students, it's very important of how to build up the beautiful sound of a choir. They mentioned the measure and the homogeneity of the voices, the high level of pronunciation, even in case of foreign languages, as well as the rich dynamic scale for a sensitive execution. They are right, but many times in the work they also have to live with the harsh conditions, the lack of male voices, or singers being ill, or having two soloist character members in the choir, or the best altos is abroad, and so on. At any cases, we have to be clever and inventive to find a good solution, and also have to make a compromise, sometimes, with the possibilities. The question is, in want of a good singer, whether we shall call singers from outside, or we hope that the others will try to sing a bit more intensively. If we trust the present singers, they will do their best. It is for sure, and they will be really proud of their production. It is a victory, and it gives them a big impulse for the future. Possibly it is a more simple and successful solution than calling singers from outside. Young conductors could see well that another key of success is the good choice of a program. It is necessary to plan variety, characters, and the event wisely. Almost everything is for the audience. But on the top of that, to influence it consciously. A few words or any information written or said about the program in advance is always welcome, and the people are grateful. By the way, many times it's useful for also the singers when they are singing and without any thinking. Do think on the fellow arts. The connection with music might result in exciting events. One can combine music, movement, pictures on the same subject, and atmosphere with great success. Today we can see and listen more and more of these kinds of concerts everywhere. Young musicians are really skillful in this field. We have to encourage them to organize such events. The choral conductor shall develop himself, must be well informed, so-called being up to date with the latest musical trends. The good choral conductor knows what he wants, but the preparation to the concert must happen in a human way, said the students too. He has to care for the singers, who are amateurs or professionals, but they get symbolic or official contract for valuable artistic work. And they also have their own families, professions, desires, joys, and troubles. It is an extraordinary task to harmonize the different manners of lives in all choirs. It needs special leading techniques of considering the aims of the choir, and depending on the age, the geographic situation, sometimes they're coming from 1 hour away, after 1 hour by car, culture, and often the financial possibilities of the singers too. It is a big help if the choir has a second conductor, several voice leaders, and a permanent piano accompanist. It is important that they execute the ideas of the leader conductor. These musicians are really valuable for the community. Perhaps we can, another. New and last field, the organizing task. Wave the stick until the music stops, then turn around and bow. Yeah. Organizing. Introduce and present the choir to the music world. Keep a good contact with families behind and beside the choral singers. Possibilities of getting money, have to know. Applications, applying, tenders. The preparation for a concert tour is a very complicated process, another field. Musical goals is to have a large repertoire for this event in order to keep the program always fresh, mainly for the singers. We have to introduce and present our choir to the world at home and abroad. We also have to call and keep the audience, to build connections, get invitations sometimes. There are fantastic new possibilities. The homepage and the internet, the CD and DVD recording is also easily available for the groups, and they also need small and detailed program and prospects in the choir and the repertoire. Today, promotion is possibly by photos, by YouTube, or by Facebook, and so on. It is important to collect the reviews and criticisms, and everything must be kept in a nice archive. To be well known and to get appreciation is important not only for the conductor and the singers, but behind them also for the family members who make many sacrifices for the choir's success. It's very useful if the young conductors know well the possibilities of collecting money. Yeah, it was mentioned, and the other problem, it's very, very few conductors is paid for the work. If it is possible, they have to get some money for that. But normally the Hungarian choir leaders are very rich in gold. Now we have to put the question. Yeah. How the teachers and conductors training institutions, universities, can convey this huge knowledge to their students. It's not easy to compile a curriculum containing enough time for all these subjects and fields. Yes, we have to give the basic knowledge and parallelly the possibility of practice. Some years ago, we had great opportunities to invite world-famous choral conductors to give 3, 4, 5 days courses for our students. They came as friends, and we were happy to work with our young musicians and to give closing concert in our wonderful academic grand hall, you know, or in the St. Matthew's Church. We had unforgettable experiences with Andrea Angelini, Jean-Paul Baget, Frieder Bernius, Wilco Brauers, Simon Carrington, Paul Kreb, János Cifra from Salzburg, native Hungarian, Erik Eriksson, Max Frey, Stoyan Kuret, David Galvez Pintado, Helmut Rilling, Josep Villa, Roy Wells. Today, students can have sponsorships, and they travel to anywhere in the world, from Japan to China, to Australia, Iceland, America, and so on. Fantastic new life. They can study anywhere. The most important in this training work of giving large possibilities, knowledge, and professional calling for the future generation. More, we have to ask them to sing, to help in different choirs during their studies, to go to international forums of the choral movement, to participate at competitions, festivals, and choral meetings. They join national and international choral organizations like Europa Cantat or IFCM. Later, they might become responsible for the new choral life in the world. This cultural network can keep the choirs of the world together. Fortunately, there are so many organizations helping this wonderful community. We receive special spiritual gift at this occasion. The successful concerts give pure joy for many people. The condition is a well-trained professional choral conductor. My aim in the past few minutes was to prove that all kinds of musical groups, smaller or bigger choirs, children or adult choirs, need professional conductors. The aim is to reach the joy of the common singing and to get the elevating experience of qualified music making. For thousands of years, we have known that music makes people's lives happy. By music, we can educate the young people, and can from the future. All theoretical aestheticians from Plato, Aristoteles, to these days have written these evidences. Claudio Monteverdi, Heinrich Schütz, the English cathedral schools musicians, the Royal Courts conductors, Bach, Robert Schumann, Béla Bartók, Kodály Zoltán, Bádos Lajos, and Professor Szőnyi. They all declare that only the most beautiful and valuable music can be given to the children, to the people. Yes, the thesis stands. The biggest composers and music teachers proved it. Beside the experiences and the arguments of the theory, also the scientific researchers have also supported. Artistic activities make people experience harmony and happiness. The reason of this fact is not debated, but the leaders of cultural life tend to neglect it. If someone doesn't know the joy of choral music, he doesn't know why a piano concert of Mozart or pieces of Chopin or Debussy, Symphony of Gustav Mahler, the ballet by Bartók, The Miraculous Mandarin, and so on, and the pictures by Rembrandt, by Greco, and different, who don't know the St. Peter Basilica in Rome, or the Lavra in Kiev, or don't know the dramas by Shakespeare, Bernard Shaw, or Lorca. They don't know why, and why is so rich our world. Have to know Claudio Monteverdi, Orfeo, and Wagner, and so on. What a wonderful word, we can say. We cannot lock out one of the children from this fairy garden. What can we do? We must know that we, music teachers, choral conductors, are the key people. We have to show the marvels and realize the universal idea by Kodály. Music belongs to everyone. If you don't know the marvels of Budapest, that is also very, very shortly some pictures. There's the big hall, there's the opera house, there's the Matthias Church, and some, that's Holy Crown, the Parliament, that's the Elizabeth Bridge and the Chain Bridge, and that's a modern church. Yeah. What is the real goal? Giving human pictures, musical and practical knowledge, awaken the desire of giving and spreading values, beauties. All of us, we have the task of giving back the joy, giving back. We had, but have to giving back the joy of singing. Music, singing, all beauties of the world belong to everyone. We are going to listen something. I don't know exactly how many minutes we have, or no more. Any more? 2 minutes, yeah. Please, would you? Legyen kedves lejátszani. Nem az egészet, mindegy, jó. First song of the Kollár piece about the singing. If I were a river, I could sing between the months. Köszönjük szépen. It's a pity.